Hey there, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the Bimmer barn. Today, we're gonna be working on the 335i wagon, and I have just two things that I wanna accomplish today. Number one is I wanna install the old 335i rims to see if the car still has a wheel shake and a pull to the one side. And then I wanna install the sport seats from the 335i into my wagon, thus completing the M Sport interior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Oh boy, I think already I can tell that it's not pulling. And you know what, while I was taking the wheels off, I was taking a real close look and I found that the front left wheel was the one that was really like cone shaped. It had that issue, you know? So the rest of them though, they look like they were almost fine. So I wonder if we just might get away with buying one tire. Right now, let's see if we can get this car up to speed a little bit and see if we have any wheel shake, any pull at higher speed. And let me know what you guys think of how this car looks with these wheels down in the comments below too, because I didn't think they looked good on the Arctic Silver 335, but this kind of darker color pulls it off pretty well. Let me know what you think. Wow, that's pretty good actually. The wheel is pointed a little bit to the right, otherwise it pulls straight. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the E91 wagon, then you probably don't know that the car has a panoramic sunroof. As you can see here, I have the sunshade open, so you can have that opened or closed. Unfortunately, I found out recently that the sunshade does not close on this car. I can't really get it to move back into the closed position. Oh, you know what? Actually, there we go. I think we got it. So check this out. It'll cover that whole roof. You know, it's like a moonroof, but better, because you get a lot more light in when you want it, and it opens up the size of a normal moonroof. So that's a really cool feature I wanted to share with you guys. Quick tool for you guys. So now let's get the car back to the shop and start working on the sport seat retrofit. Now when you're changing your seats, it's gonna be easiest if obviously you have the battery connected and you're able to adjust the seat so that the backrest is almost 90 degrees with the bottom of the seat here. And that way it'll be kind of small enough to fit through the front door here, which I found is the easiest way to get your seats out. So that's what we're gonna do on these seats here, and try to get the seat rails aligned exactly centered. Now first, obviously, we do have to remove, I think, the Torx bolts that are under here, all 4 of them. And then remember, we're gonna have the bolt that holds the seat belt here, and then we're gonna have the harness connector that goes to the actual seat underneath right here. So we need to disconnect all that stuff so we can pull the seat out, and then we're gonna do the same thing to our 335i M Sport over there, and that way we'll have to install those seats over here. Now, like I said, once you've got all 4 bolts out, you're gonna wanna center the seat. That way these rails aren't poking out and they're not gonna damage the trim that you have. And then remember, there are the seat belt right here, which is underneath this trim cover. And then you have this yellow connector right here as well, which we're gonna go disconnect in a second. Well, I don't think I can get this trim off while the seat's in the car. It's just kind of difficult. So I'm gonna pull the seat out first. I disconnected
the electrical plug, and usually I'd recommend disconnecting the battery first, but I have a scanner, so we'll just clear the codes later. Just like that. All right. So I had to pull off this trim panel here. There's 3 of these clips, 1, 2, and 3. And then you just have to pull really hard from the top here. And now we have access to the 1 bolt that's holding the seat belt to the frame of the seat here. So let's go ahead and remove that, and hopefully the seat belt stays with the car. We can take our seat and put it over there. Nice, that's easy. Oh, look, just do it like that. Actually, turns out this little plastic cover right here comes off, and then you got access to the bolt for the seat belt, which is a pretty cool feature. So now all I'm gonna do is put this seat aside because I need to grab my shop vac and vacuum up this entire carpet, which is disgusting. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of before and after shots because I'm gonna go ahead and probably do the shampoo as well. That's gonna take some time. And I've shown you guys how that works before, so I'll just go ahead and skip the time lapse, show you before and after, and then we'll focus on getting the new seats in. So we're gonna pause for a second, and the carpets are looking really clean after just using a shop vac on them. But the reason we have to pause is because while the carpets are still dry, I wanna pull up this front section here and remove the transfer case module, which I believe is under the carpet right here. And we need to do that because the car was converted, of course, to rear-wheel drive, and the module was throwing fault codes, and we don't need it anymore. So a couple of screws here, and then we'll pull it out. So right underneath this metal casing right here is the transfer case module, and we went ahead and disconnected that pretty easily enough. Now we'll just go ahead and put the carpet back in place, leave that metal casing there because it's obviously right under the carpet and it's going to help provide some stiffness to it, and we'll put the speaker cover back on, and then we'll go right back to cleaning the carpets with our shampoo cleaner. Carpets are looking super clean and they smell really fresh now. We didn't have any major stains or spots, so that was really nice. Not too hard to get these things cleaned up. So now let's grab those sport seats from the 335 and install them in the wagon. Somehow, after all the stuff that we removed, all I had to do was plug in the instrument cluster and the CAS module, and now we're able to move the seats on this car. And that's really key because that way we can access the bolts. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you have to do to get access to these bolts. Probably put up power manually or I don't know. So let's go ahead and get right to work. finally at that point where the seats are cleaned and ready to go back inside the car. And in case you're wondering what products I like to use, usually a window cleaner, which is a light degreaser, enough to get the seats kind of clean with a rag, and then I'll come back in with some conditioner from Meguiar's. And this leather conditioner does a great job of moisturizing the leather, bringing back a lot of color, and also making it feel a lot softer to the touch. So I'll put a link to this stuff in the description down below in case you're curious. But now I think we're finally ready to get these sport seats into the wagon. So check out how good these seats look inside the wagon now. They really complete the build, I think, by having that M Sport with the 335 package. Really makes this thing a sleeper. Again, from the outside, you really can't tell, but on the inside, I guarantee it's gonna feel like a real good sports car. And the carpet is super clean as well. I went ahead and reinstalled the factory WeatherTech floor mats, or whatever kind of weatherproof floor mats those are, because I don't want to get the carpets dirty. And I think we'll keep them like that because, again, wagon life, right? You're going to be putting your muddy boots on after adventuring with your family. So anyways, guys, that's going to conclude our video for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Be sure to leave a like or a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't yet. And as always, I hope everyone has an amazing day. We'll see you next time.